Welcome to the channel. I'm the Scottish astrologer, and in this video I'm going to talk about the original language experiment or language of God experiment that took place in the year 1493 in Scotland by the order of King James IV of the Stuart dynasty. Now, King James IV was actually the last of any British monarchs to die on the battlefield. Now, this linguistics or original language experiment took place on a small island called Inchkeith Island, which is just a couple of miles off the coast of Leith, where I am currently located. I can see this island from my window. Now, the current owner of this island is a man named Tom Farmer, who is the founder of the company QuickFit. And if you want to explore this island, you need Tom Farmer's permission to do so and to land there. Now, almost nothing is known about the early history of this island. In fact, the first historical references for this island came in the 12th century. But from this point, the history of Inchkeith Island is very, very interesting indeed. Now, please research this for yourself, and I will leave links in the description for good sources to do so, and you won't be disappointed. Now, the most intriguing and interesting piece of history regarding this island is indeed the original language experiment. And how this experiment worked was like this. King James wanted to know for sure what the original language was that was first spoke by man. And to answer this question, King James had the idea of sending two infants, two young children, and a mute woman, a woman who cannot speak. He wanted them all to live on the island in isolation with everything they need for their nourishment, with the goal of returning when the children were old enough to have perfect speech, with the aim of discovering what language they spoke, if indeed they spoke any language. But if they did indeed speak a language, then this would be the original language or the language of God. Now, the results of this experiment were never actually made public, but according to the historian Robert Lindsay of Pitscottie, some say the infants grew up to speak good Hebrew, but there are no reliable sources for these claims. And according to other accounts, the infants grew up not being able to speak any language. But what do you think the results of this experiment were? What language, if any, do you think these infants, these children, actually spoke? Now, please leave a comment, because I want to hear everyone's opinion on this. Now, I am of the personal belief that they never ended up speaking any language. I believe they mostly communicated through body language, through the eyes, but possibly the strong human desire and need to communicate may have produced a form of communication not fully understood. Maybe some form of telepathic communication, because the human desire and need to communicate efficiently has brought technological advances such as the telephone, text messaging, email, internet, etc., etc. Truly powerful but very strange forms of communication. So the desire of the people involved in this experiment to communicate efficiently must have been very strong. And if this desire can bring us great and strange forms of communication through physical means, again like the telephone, email, text, internet, etc., etc., then it's not so hard to believe that this same desire to communicate can bring great and strange forms of communication through spiritual means, non-physical means, especially when the main form of physical human communication is not known to these people whatsoever. So again, I am of the belief that the two infants developed a special form of communication that may or may not have been recognised and discovered by the conductors of this experiment. It may have never have been noticed. I believe the results of this experiment were not properly disclosed though for a good reason, okay? I also wonder who these two infants actually were and what happened to them after this experiment, who they grew up to be, if indeed they grew up at all after it. Who knows at all? I don't have a clue. There's nothing known about it. Okay folks, I just wanted to share this information with you because it's a fascinating subject. What is the original language? Okay, it fascinates me. I think so anyway, and I hope you all agree and enjoyed this topic. And I know it's nothing to do with astrology, but I am going to be doing more videos like this as well as my astrology videos. But more videos about interesting topics that most people have never heard of but should. Okay folks, a huge thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell at the right hand side of the subscribe button. Until next time, take care.